On September 7, 2022, Apple announced the iPhone 14, and along with the 14 Plus, the 14 Pro, and 14 Pro Max. So, nearly a year later, is it still good? Well, let's find out and see. Quick side note, this is a clip of me picking up the iPhone at the Apple store inside my local mall with my family. We all pitched in to purchase it for my sister. I hope you enjoy it, sis. Thank you so much. We're making Tim Cook happy. Alright guys, hello, you can see me here. I'm going to be unboxing the Apple iPhone 14 128 gig in purple right here. So, let's get into it. This is amazing. I think I'm making Tim Cook happy with this. Alright. You thought you were going to see a screen, but look. Isn't it beautiful? This is amazing. So, with the iPhone aside, you get just a cable and of course your paper. And there's no charging brick at all. Alright, with that, we are going to boot it up and see how this goes. Alright, so after unboxing it, it's time to turn it on. Apple.
Wow.
Isn't it beautiful? This is so good. Oh yeah, that's like the infrared. And it boots up like that. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna set this up. And it's gonna be awesome. Oh yeah, quick start. This is a new feature or recent feature on newer iOS devices like the iPhones and iPads, where you just wirelessly transfer your old stuff from your iPhone to the new iPhone, but we'll set that up in a bit. So give me some time. Welcome to iPhone. Certainly. Let's swipe up. Let's experience it. Oh, you need to get used to that. And there it is. This is what it looks like when you unbox your brand new iPhone 14. And also it goes with all the lines of iPhone 14. Just look at it. It's beautiful. There's all your apps there. It's smooth. So yeah, let us do the test to see if this is good for you. The iPhone 14 was announced on September 7, 2022, along with the iPhone 14 Plus, Pro, and Pro Max. The 14 will be released 9 days later on September 16th for $799 or $829 unlocked. So what do you get for that price? Well, you get a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display with a native resolution of 2532 by 1170 with a peak brightness of 1200 nits. It has a 12 megapixel front-facing camera and dual 12 megapixel wide and ultra-wide cameras on the back. The back can record at 1080p up to 240 fps or 4K at 60 fps, and the front can do 1080p up to 120 fps or 4K at 60 fps. For performance, you get Apple's 5nm A15 Bionic SoC with a dual-core Avalanche chip running at 3.23 GHz, plus a quad-core Blizzard chip at 1.82 GHz, making a total of 6 cores for the entire SoC along with Apple's 5-core GPU. It has 6 GB of LPDDR4X memory and 128 GB of storage for the base model, but you can max it out to 512 GB if you desire. On the left, you got a ringer switch and up and down volume buttons, and on the right, an antenna and power/slide button for things like Siri. On the bottom, there is a lightning port and stereo speakers, including those above the camera with Face ID. These speakers output spatial audio with Dolby Atmos. It's equipped with a 3279 mAh lithium-ion battery ready for 20 hours of video playback, and you can charge it via MagSafe, standard wireless charging, or a wall charger. Apple says it can charge the phone from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes at 20 watts. It's got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, and 5G connectivity. And you have probably noticed that a physical SIM card tray is omitted in favor of eSIM, or embedded SIM, albeit US only. Foreign iPhone models, like China's, only have dual nano SIM, while international ones outside China have nano SIM and eSIM. Since this is the American model, please contact your carrier to see if they support eSIM, or check Apple's support page for a list of carriers in the US that support eSIM one way or another. The iPhone 14's ultrawide camera compared to my S21 FE shows that the 14 is brighter and a bit more colorful than my S21 FE. For instance, the tag had more purple and blue details than on my phone, and for the wide, the 14 looks natural and the S21 FE has good exposure. However, when zoomed in, it shows that the iPhone 14 has more natural detail on the marks on the tag's face. And to put that into perspective and retrospect, the iPhone 7 with a 12 megapixel camera is also bright, but once again, the 14 has a more natural looking image and you can see things more visibly and less noisy. This is thanks to Apple's photonic engine technology, which combines hardware, software, and AI to improve picture quality. For the front, I have to say, even with the iPhone 14 having a 12 megapixel camera compared to the 32 megapixel camera on my S21 FE, my face looks natural with a decent amount of light reflected on my face, and my hair is more black. It gives it more depth than exposure. The iPhone 7, on the other hand, looks a little less vivid, I would say. Once again, iPhone 14 photonic engine. Also, both the iPhone 14 and S21 FE have night mode, but I have to refer to the iPhone 14 as the selfie quality in night mode is better, but when I also compared it to night mode with flash, it's just too bright, so in turn the S21 FE is better at night mode selfies with flash. But once again, the iPhone 14 does night mode selfies well without needing a flash. The back cameras on both of the phones show a difference. The S21 FE feels a bit darker with the green hue and the teddy. The iPhone has just the right amount of exposure to make this feel good when you look at it. I record on all three phones and my results are that starting with the iPhone 7, the video is noisy and not as vivid, and the microphone sounds fine. This is the iPhone 7 recorded at 1080p 60 fps. The S21 FE sounds louder, the camera noise is not noticeable at all, and the quality is sharp. This is the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE recorded at 1080p 60 fps. Finally, the iPhone 14 also looks sharp with added brightness, and the sound is also not bad. This is the iPhone 14 recorded at 1080p 60 fps. It too has little to no camera noise. Both the iPhone 14 and S21 FE showed more depth compared to the iPhone 7, but if you need a little bit more light to make it stand out, then the iPhone 14 is your best pick. For the selfie camera, you can see that each phone has some noise, but what stands out is that the S21 FE and iPhone 14 control the noise from the camera as best as they can, unlike the iPhone 7. The 14 also feels brighter than the S21 FE. This is the iPhone 14's rear camera recorded at 1080p 60 fps in portrait. This is the iPhone 7's rear camera recorded at 1080p 30 fps. This is the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE's rear camera recorded at 1080p 60 fps. With pics out of the way, I want to see if each phone is the smoothest and can withstand its rivals. For benchmarks, I used 3D Mark and ran the wildlife graphics test. For starters, look how slow the iPhone 7 is and compare that to the 14, and the way the iPhone 14 loaded up the benchmark was zippy. Of course, this is a modern iPhone versus an iPhone from 7 years ago, but it's good to see a huge jump over time. The iPhone 14 is at a very smooth average of 60 fps, the S21 FE at roughly 30 fps, and the iPhone 7 at a very sluggish 6 fps. Basically, this iPhone 14 has a tenfold increase in smooth performance than the 7 and doubled the frame rate than the S21 FE. And the stats show that, with the iPhone 14 being maxed out, the Galaxy S21 FE with a score of 5010 and the iPhone 7 at 995. This iPhone is snappy with 6GB of memory and Apple's own 5-core GPU smashed in the pack. So this iPhone is great for all the day-to-day tasks that you can throw at it, and how good it handles most games like Smash It, as there is no lag or drops in frames. And of course, Apple optimizes iOS to make it snappier than ever. The iPhone 14 sounds louder with a bit more thump to it. The same thing goes for the Galaxy S21 FE. But the iPhone 7 just sounds tinny and okay to say the least. Now sure, the iPhone 7 and 14 both have dual speakers. What's the difference? Well, as mentioned in the specifications, the difference is that Apple has spatial audio with that Dolby Atmos tuning, allowing it to push out higher quality sound. I can even bet that making a phone call should sound clearer, at least more heard. The S21 FE also has Dolby Atmos too, so both phones can crush it in the sound department. But to keep, the iPhone 14 is good at pumping out audio. When it comes to Wi-Fi connectivity, the iPhone 14 is capable of pushing higher numbers, as in this case, the iPhone 14 on my Wi-Fi had a download speed of over 140 to 160 megabits per second. The S21 FE peaked at the hundreds, but dropped to the 50s and slightly bumped up to the 60s, and the iPhone 7 at 150 megabits per second. The final scores are in, with the 14 at 164 down, 31.2 up, the S21 FE at 67.2 down, 7.20 up, and the iPhone 7 at 152 down, 18.2 up. While the iPhone 14 was faster in speed tests, it and all phones may vary depending on the range, speed, reliability, and other factors of your internet connection. But Wi-Fi 6, which is built into the iPhone 14, as well as the Galaxy S21 FE, does improve in range, so you should expect benefits from the iPhone 14, even the S21 FE. But we're sticking to the iPhone only. All iPhone 14 models have crash detection and emergency SOS, so if you can't call 911 via cellular, you can use the satellites to help you. So we're going to try the demo here. So this is about satellite connection. So it says here an iPhone can help in an emergency where a call won't go through, and that is critical because if you're in the woods, you're saying you have no cell service, it is paramount. So after dialing emergency services, a button will appear to start a satellite connection, and this is really advanced stuff. I'm so glad that Apple added this. So yeah, during an emergency, you can call someone for help. So we're gonna test it, but it's fine. So this is just the demo. I'm not actually in an emergency, but this is trying to find my location. So let's see. Trying to find my location. Give me 1 second. I think I need to set up the settings for this. So I tried to pick up some satellites, but unfortunately I'm not seeming to get it. But just note that this is a good feature and it's very important in things like this. So if you're out in the woods or anywhere in a life-threatening situation, this will absolutely work. So good job, Apple, on that one. So in conclusion, after doing several tests, I concluded that the iPhone 14 is a good iPhone for so many people. You're getting overall a good user experience, great design, amazing performance for day-to-day tasks and video games, and a good quality camera and video recording, as well as so many features, including what I like is the emergency SOS features, as well as all the other bits that make this iPhone 14 a great phone for so many people. And at $800 with 5G and the latest Wi-Fi and Bluetooth specifications, I would say that you can go out and get this. Even when the next iPhone comes out, you will still get a great base model flagship, and at 120 gigabytes, it's plenty of storage for so many people who want to dabble into this. So that's all I have to say, guys. Thank you for watching. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking, and comment down below. And until next time, everyone, goodbye. We're making Tim Cook happy. Tim Cook happy. Tim Cook happy.
Wow.